Okay, thanks. It's Billy again. Today we're going to learn how to start a fire at cold snow. Now, there's a lot of survivalists out there, and they do a really good job of explaining and editing their video. So I'm going to kind of try to live up to them. I don't have any editing programs or anything, but let me show you guys something. I'll try to get the best shots that I can get. This tree right here, this is your cedar. You see this bark? See if I can get it to focus. Everybody's seen cedar bark. It's very thin, very papery. And if you can find the sides that didn't get snowed on, like you see this, that clump of snow, that wind was blowing in from the north. You want to go to the south side of this tree and pull bark off of that, because this other side is going to be wet. So you need to pull all this stuff off the south side of it. That'll be your driest stuff. Now, I've already went out and I got a bunch of cedar bark together. I've had it in my pocket, probably for the last 30 minutes or so. I was walking out here. But you're not going to be able to keep a fire going with just that. To find the stuff that'll really get your fire cooking, you want to kind of look at these small briar vines, and you're looking for the dead ones. See, listen. You hear that? Good old rule of thumb is if those things snap and pop like a fire sounds, it'll burn. So here's some more ones. That just breaks off there real good and easy. And I got thorns all over it, so kind of look out for that. But oh, there's a good one. Just gonna let it hit the snow. It's not a good thing. I'm actually out here in my backyard. I had a question from another channel if I could show how to make fire in our climate in the snow. These little leaves, they're pretty dry. I think they might do very well. Some of them's kind of wet. And it's a little wet. I think we can work with it though. We'll do with that. We're just going to make a small temporary fire. I'm not going to be out here all day. One of your bigger things is, where are you going to start your fire? Oh, look, a dry spot. Now, if you're in places like Alaska and stuff, and it's got 3 foot of snow, there's no dry rock sticking out of the ground or anything, what you're going to want to do is kind of look up. Look up at the canopy. What you're going to want to find is the densest spot that you can find up here in this canopy. What this is going to do, looky there. That's golden right there. See that? Not really any snow whatsoever. You also want to take a minute just to kind of pay attention to the drip lines, because those little small droplets of water coming down will put your fire out eventually. There's another good tree over there. It's got some stuff. But you see how it's still pretty wet. but there's no snow sitting on it. Same thing with right here. This is my personal favorite to find. I find this, I know I can survive the night. You're going to want to kick all this stuff back. And it's still pretty wet. Anybody who ever tells you that survival's easy is lying. So I don't have any fancy equipment. Somebody tends to screw up my videos, but that's okay. We'll work through it. Okay, there's a nice little spot right there cleaned out. So we're just going to do kind of a temporary small fire just for demonstration purposes. Now pine, in Arkansas, we're in no short supply of pine trees. But you're going to want to break these loose parts of bark off. Bigger parts of bark, the better. So you can take your knife, go to the inside of those. Now, I do not recommend doing this with a very thin bladed knife. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on it, because if it don't pop off, you ain't going to want it. Anyway, this is really hard to do with just one hand. Okay. All right. What you're going to do is just kind of make a bed for your fire. And that'll help protect it from any other moisture that's trapped down inside of there. Okay. Next comes your cedar bark. All right. All right. You can just light it up. Oh no, my lighter's out of fluid. So what do we do now, guys? Well, survival is 90% luck. Luck has it, I've got something that everybody wears in all kinds of weather. Socks. Now this is a neat little trick. I learned it a long time ago. What you want to do is just kind of keep picking at the small fibers that are on your sock. And you just keep on picking. This is going to take a while, so you can fast forward if you want. What you see, what you end up with is this very, very fine fibrous material. And you just keep on picking. There's a little bit. Need more though. Just keep on picking. You don't really want the strings. You might end up getting some strings that want to pull out, some really big strings. You don't want those. Just kind of move to another location on your sock. Now these are wool. As I found out, wool's a little bit more difficult than cotton socks. But wool is quite possibly one of the best insulators that you can get. That's why I like wearing wool socks during the winter. So we'll just kind of keep on picking at it. I wish I had a cameraman. Anybody want to be my cameraman? It's a nice little, I get it to focus. This little ball of wool there. I like to just keep on picking at it. Okay. Let me put this right here. I'm going to see if I can't get this camera to sit down where we can see what we're doing here. Okay. There we go. All right. That's a nice spot. Okay. I don't like cutscenes neither because I'm not quite sure if the guys are, like when I go to start a fire, if they're actually putting a coal in there themselves or what. So I'm gonna try to keep it live for you guys. I'm just gonna keep on picking. Just keep on picking. I think I can work with what I got. Alright. I think I can work with what I got. Okay. I'm gonna put this guy right there. Now, if you don't know how to fluff up cedar for a bird's nest, all you want to do is just kind of grab it, break it up, and do this number. Just fluff it up real good. You want all that big material to be fluffy and thin, like sewing string. And you just kind of keep on fluffing it up. You'll see it starting to turn to fiber. I don't know if I can do it that little bit in here or not. Okay. A little bit more. Let's just fluff it up just a little bit more. It's not quite where I like it yet. Okay. You see that? It's a pretty nice looking bird's nest. A little small for my liking, but you know, when you don't have nothing else, especially during the winter, snow everywhere, you just kind of got to deal with what nature gives you. There's no fighting nature, you got to work with it. Okay, what we're going to do, I save these. Don't take off my cotton ball. Oh, a drip of water. That's almost a death sentence. Okay. This is going to be like a match. We're going to take a little bit of this stuff, stuff it down here in the middle of it. All right. We're going to take our little ball of cotton stuff here. Wool, whatever you want to call it. I'll put it in there just like that. See if it'll focus. Focus. There it goes. Just like that. So you end up with this little miniature torch. Survival match. Then so now what you're going to want to do, very carefully not to strike it, you're just going to start flaking this stuff off. Actually, what I like to do is take my knife and pop this little thing right here off. The I don't know if you call it a guard or what. And pop it off real quick.
best not to do this with a knife because you can cut the crap out of yourself, especially if you got a knife like mine. Uh-oh. There it goes. All right. See, and you end up with that right there. Okay, what you're gonna want to do, stuff your cotton ball down in there. And very carefully spin this wheel. Let all that flint build up down there in one spot. It's gonna take a little bit. Just keep at it. There's nothing in survival that's gonna be like on demand. You know, in 5 minutes you got everything you need. You know, this going to the store in the woods takes a long time. And you just keep flaking this out. Oh man, I wish I could get better camera angles. Oh, almost started it. It's not good. Strike it. Not until you're ready. Let me look at it. Nothing yet. Just keep on going with it. Okay. I gotta stand up. And just keep going with it. Keep on going with it. Okay. Let's see if we can get it to catch. Nope, not yet. Gotta keep adding some more to it. See if I can. Just gonna keep on adding more to it. I don't know if you can actually see that stuff flaking off or not. I imagine my crappy little phone, you probably can't. Okay. Nope, not that time. Oop, oop, oop. So you always want to kind of hold it up away from it. Can you see that? Ah. Oh, there's a worm. Worm just come out of the ground. Look at there. Grub. All right. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Ah. Dang it. See, I got ignition just a little bit. There's that one little ember. I don't think it'll catch. Nope. We'll keep going. Do it again. Survival can be repetition, repetition, repetition. Thing of it is, you just keep going with it. Because it's either you get that fire going or you're going to freeze to death. Come on, baby. Oh, really? Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Ah. Oh my gosh. These people quit calling me.